Hey guys, Andy Prepper here. Another blade review, this time on machetes, on Cheaperthandirt's bargain buy for 5 machetes for about 20 bucks. A little less than 20 bucks, I think it was $19.95 or something like that. Order from Cheaperthandirt all the time. Great stuff. Order most of my ammo from there, you know, for rifles and bulk ammo, that type of stuff. Just saw this for 20 bucks with a recent order, went ahead and said, well, what the heck? Why not get 5 more machetes? You can't have too many machetes. It's like being too good looking or having too much money. There's no such thing. Cheaper machetes, obviously. Not as good as some other stuff, but maybe project blades, something to mess around with, play with. They are a little different than what was pictured in the video, or the advertisement rather, not the video. They advertised 3 wooden handle machetes and 2 plastic handle ones. Well, I got the opposite of that. 3 plastics, 2 wood, which I think is fine. And the style of blades are a little bit different overall, but that's fine. Some of these blade styles I've never had anything bigger than some of these, so I'll play around with them, see what I think. Maybe refinish some of the grips and handles and all that, and maybe reprofile some of the blade edges. Just something to play around with for cheap. $4 a blade, that's decent, I think, just to mess around with. Now, let me say, none of these came with sheaths, which would have been a heck of a nice bonus, but again, keep them around the house, around the farm, in the garage, wherever. You can't have too many machetes, so $4 a piece, this is fine. I don't have major issues with it. So let's start at the beginning here. They're all Colombian blades, not Columbia, South Carolina, but Colombia, South America. Except for this one here, which we'll talk about in a minute. It may be Colombian, I just can't tell by the markings. The rest of these have little stickers on them that tell where they're made. Let's start at the bottom. The only blackened blade with a corrosion protection on it, which is also different than the advertisement, which has 2 blades with the blackened finish on it. This is probably the biggest blade overall. Nice heavy end on it. Fairly decent. The only one with a little bit of rust on it. Just a tiny bit of rust there, so the little tip in. A little couple of scrapes with sandpaper, something like that's going to get rid of that. This was nice. It's going to be a big heavy chopper, big heavy stuff, fine stuff like that. This is probably one of the sharper of them, but none of these come too sharp, okay? You're going to have to reprofile or sharpen these blades if you want them up to real spec, in my opinion. Get your little sticker there. Gavilan or Colma blades. Colma, or on the flip side, if you can see that, maybe not, Gavilan out of Colombia. Anyway, this is probably the nicest of the wood grips. It's quite smooth, actually. Got a little bit of light lacquer on it, something like that. May finish that up a little bit. This is going to be fine. Going to do just fine. No lanyard hole, anything like that, but full tang, as you can see. So it's going to be fairly durable overall. The finish on the blackening, not particularly great overall, but for $4, what in the heck do you expect? It's going to do the job, I think, just fine. I'll let you know what I do with this blade. You know, may change the profile on it, may clip some edges of the metal off. I don't know yet. I'm just going to play with these. So, there's the first one. Next one may not be Colombian. Don't know. It has Nouvelle Protection, which I believe is new protection on it. Wooden grips again. I think these are probably a better looking wooden grip overall than the other one. But I think these grips are a little too large overall, for my hand anyway. If I had big bear paw hands, this would be okay. But good thing about this is the wood extends over the actual full tang. So I can grind this down fairly easily to make it fit a little bit better. No lanyard hole, but 3 rivets there to secure the thing. Gonna do okay. Now this one has JMK here on the blade. See that there? JMK is what I think that says. With, I don't know what that is, little horns or something like that. Don't know what the manufacturer of this blade is overall. I'd have to say I like this one probably best for the bigger, heavier blades. I like the way this thing feels in my hand. Wish the grip was a little smaller, but again, I can fix that. Finish this up a little bit. Again, fairly dull. I like it. I like this. I'm going to probably use this as my project blade overall. The sharpened part of the blade only comes down to about here, so I'd probably prefer it to be all the way, but I don't know. I'll play around with this one. Again, project blades, guys. $4 a piece. Who cares? Beat them up. Do whatever you want. So that's the last of the wood gripped ones. So we'll see about that one. That seems fairly decent, I think. Next off, the oddball blade. This is the weirdest one of the bunch. Also Colombian made, as the sticker says. Plastic grips with a little small lanyard hole here. Got your little back quill in here to hold your hand on when you're chopping hard. I like that. I just can't figure out what in the heck this blade is for. I'm usually pretty good at my machetes, identifying them and knowing what the basic purpose of this is. This weird swell on the back, I don't know. It's sharpened on both sides of the, with the bevel here on both sides, on this end, okay? No point on it. Now, on the back side, you've got only one side sharpened. Just this side, not this one. Don't know why. Don't know if there's a purpose. It's only sharpened to about there. So the middle of the swell in this thing, I'd say, give or take, not quite, a little short of that. Don't know if you can see that at all. Wouldn't expect you to. But I would expect this thing is supposed to be flipped around on the other side for some kind of purpose. Maybe slasher here, chopper on this side. I don't know. Big long machete. Very long machete. This is probably, I'd say, probably the longest machete I own, except for the ones I just purchased. So, I don't know if there's a specific purpose for this thing. Maybe you guys out there can tell me. Obviously going to have to sharpen up this side and the back side, because that appears to be what it's for. I don't know. Maybe somebody sharpened the wrong side and they just stopped and turned around and sharpened this side. I don't know. I don't know why you would need this extra swell on the back side if it wasn't sharpened. So, don't know. Again, plastic grip, lanyard hole there. Right there. So, I like the grip on it. I like that just fine. So, I just don't know what the heck this thing is. So, oddball. We'll have to work on that one. Next up, as far as the grips go, these two are going to be the best because they're plastic grips with some checkering on them. This is your longer style machete. This is the one that was not pictured in the advertisement. What they showed was one like this with plastic grips and one with wood grips. I didn't get the one with wood grips. I got this one instead. So this is a little odd, but I like it. This is perfectly functional. A longer blade. This is probably the sharpest of the bunch, I think, except for maybe this one. Fairly decent sharpness rather, for a machete. Perfectly reasonable overall. The grind on the edge comes down to about there. You can take it all the way if you wanted to. Grips have some checkering on them. Again, rear here to hold on to fairly well when you're swinging with an actual machete. I like that little addition. Lanyard hole right there. So this one's decent. This one's probably good as it is, as long as I sharpen it up a bit. There's the markings on it. Colombia, Gavilan, with a little hawk or an eagle or something like that on it. Don't know what that is. Don't know if this is meant to be a groove on this thing on the back side there, if you can see it. See that there? It's not real deep at all, so I don't know if that's just a tooling mark or if that was meant to reduce weight or something that just didn't quite catch. Anyway, this one's perfectly decent. And the last one's going to be your most standard machete, in my opinion. Right here, at least the length and everything on it. Fairly sharp, maybe not as sharp as the last one. Also Colombian made with your little sticker on it. Sharpening comes down to about there, so exactly where I would want it for your standard machete. This one also has the Colma Gavilan stamping on it right there. Colombian made per the sticker on this side. This is your standard machete in my opinion. Plastic grips on it, so not a lot you can do there. Full tang, of course. Good, handy, lightweight, very usable. For a standard machete, this is what we think of here in America anyway. So this is fine. I've got other machetes similar to this. Nice textured grips on it. You see that there? Probably the best of the bunch overall. Wish it had the quilling on the back side like the last one. But hey, perfectly decent. So, $4 a piece. Perfectly reasonable. Let me put these back up here. Here's the oddball again. I wish I knew what that was or for. the more general purpose longer blade. Again, these two are good to go, just need to be sharpened up. This one, like I said, got to work on the grips a little bit, but this is nice and heavy. This is probably the thickest of the bunch, I'd say. For some serious heavy duty use, just got to sharpen up a bit and work on these grips a little bit to hone them down a bit. I think I'm going to like this one. And finally, the big bad boy here. Ugly, but I think it's going to do the job. Again, may finish the grips up a little bit. So for 20 bucks, it's okay. $20 for 5 machetes. No sheaths. That's a little bit of a hit against it, but again, for around the farm, around the camp, something like that, these are okay. You know, obviously wouldn't want to take these camping, you know, just shoving it in my belt or anything like that. I may take something else. But got some land, you need some machetes. 5 of them for 20 bucks. I think it's decent. Again, I like project guns, I like project knives, I like messing with stuff. Kind of wish I had some more wood-handled ones as opposed to plastics, but that's just me. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. If you guys pick these up, let me know what you think. Recommendations for improving that sort of thing. Like I said, I know I got to sharpen all these up. Anyway, MD Prepper, out.